Such a difference, doesn't it? Ah, gotta fix it, let it be, baby, just let it be. Okay, so living in hell is a real thing. People will be like, oh, hell isn't real. Yeah, it is. It is so real. One of the most real things I've ever lived in. And it's going to look and feel and sound and think and act differently for everybody. And depending on where you lived, who you hung out with, what your habits were, where you were eating, your friends, your job, there's a lot of different definitions, a lot of different perspectives. I'll do my best to share what I have went through with my own personal experience from living in hell. This all started when I was like young, because sometimes I would just feel like, oh, if I was depressed or if I felt or looked sad, people would give me attention. That started in the fourth grade. I really liked this girl, and I thought like, oh, if I was a little sad, maybe I get her attention. And it worked. She like started talking to me, but it was based on a thing that wasn't like in a high vibration, right? And she always liked me as a friend. I never did anything wrong to her. But then I ended up getting caught up in my mind of like, oh wow, these popular girls don't like me. I don't hang out with them. Why would they ever like me? You know? That's like where it started from, which is crazy. Um, and then like when I, get in trouble sometimes, I'd be like, ah man, I got caught. Like little things like that, right? And not knowing that it continues to build in your subconscious, all these moments of feeling sad and depressed, you know? Like I'll never forget the time like where I was failing science class. My parents were so mad at me and I was trying to study and I was like, I don't want to be here anymore because I'm just getting yelled at for failing something I don't understand. It sucked. It was so bad. And it continued. I continued to not do well in school. I barely got over a 2.3 my entire high school career. Never got anything higher than 2.6 since like fifth grade. But because school was so like demanding, it was hard on me. It put pressure on me. And the only way I could ever relieve that pressure was playing soccer until I turned 17. Then I got into cannabis and I started smoking. And then I started being in the streets, if you know what I'm saying. And I started hanging out with the wrong crowds. Started to hang out with some really, really inappropriate people. The way that they were talking, the way that they were smoking, and all this stuff. I became one of them. And then I rose. I got big real quick. And then I ended up getting robbed. I got mugged. And I was like, oh my God, like my life is over. I remember having like a seizure when I was sleeping because of me getting mugged and beaten up for freaking cannabis, for weed. And then, like, when I graduated high school, college was coming around. And then I was getting so anxious, so depressed. I was even having suicidal ideology because I was like, wow, how am I going to graduate college? You know, I was, and I was getting in trouble with the law a few times. My parents were so pissed off at me because I was just this rebel. I was like doing whatever I wanted. I was high all the time. Like wake up, smoke, breakfast, smoke, class, smoke, all day, every day. And then I'd even sneak out at midnight. And then I go hang off with my friends. They pick me up around the corner and I go smoke with them for the next like 3 hours. And then, man, I was always so hard on myself. I had all these wicked thoughts of like wanting to take my own life. Oh, let's just drive down the street and hit a bus. Oh, let's go drive off the highway, land in this lake, call it quits. I didn't believe that I could live a life. I fully didn't believe that I could trust myself to have a family and kids and, you know, do the whole 9 to 5 thing, trust myself. Like I was scared. I was petrified of being a man in this reality. I didn't know that then of what I just told you now. I didn't know I was afraid to be a man, but I was very afraid of just continuing this life that I knew I was not good at living. All I was doing was smoking and partying and doing drugs. Yeah. I even got addicted to cocaine. That was crazy. That was probably one of the craziest drugs I've ever taken. Um, I didn't get into like meth or heroin or anything like that. Thank God, because that would have been next. That that could have been next if I would have kept going down the cocaine rabbit hole. Ay ay ay. So, I've had all these thoughts, and because it's like, oh, I'm not good enough to have a woman. Wasn't good enough to, like care for her and nurture her and like be honest and upfront with her. Like if I was actually honest with my feelings, with everything, I probably would have married this woman. But because I always closed off, because I always just kept my mouth shut, everything just kept going down and down and down. Hi, Lily Moreno. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm talking about my dark nights of the soul because I don't want anyone to feel like they are alone when they've gone through something like this or are going through this. My mind was a wicked place. It was like a horror movie. There was one time where I got in trouble with the law. Parents yelled at me. Um, I had all these people hitting up my phone for like more drugs, and I legit was crying in my bed because I was like, I can't make money. I'm getting yelled at. Like, just I was putting all this fucking pressure on myself, and then I like was crying in my bed. And then I had this visualization of me going downstairs, grabbing a fucking knife, and then putting it right through my throat, and then just like pulling it out and going outside to die on the side yard. And I was like looking at my phone. I was like, who can I call right now to help me? I don't know anybody. I was like, I know this shaman, I know this guru. Like, they got to help me, right? And it's like midnight. It's like 12:30. What am I going to do? And I will say, I was able to save myself. Like I could feel this darkness like all over me. Like I was so heavy, I was so dense. I was crying. I couldn't even like get out of bed. I thought I was going to maybe even die right then and there because of like all this heavy energy. And I will say the one thing that saved me, I was like, wait a minute. Fuck this. Fuck this noise. I am not having this darkness overtake me anymore. And I just started meditating, and I just somehow I imagined the sun. The sun was out and it was beaming all of this light on me. And I stood still, rock solid, for like the next 20 minutes while all of this sunlight was just beaming on me. And I could feel like more than half of my body feeling energized. And like I was alchemizing and transmuting it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this. Like, this is like my intention right now is to heal, to let go of this darkness. Like there was a dark cloud, and there was like I don't even know, like a sheer coat of black just like all over me. It didn't feel like anything was happening. Just absolutely insane. So, you know, I've even had moments of like oh, here's a crazy one. I had a moment where I visualized myself going to the ghetto of like Cleveland, Ohio, like one of the worst parts that you can possibly imagine, bringing like a few $1,000s and then telling someone to take me into the alley and shoot me because I didn't want to live this life anymore. That's how dark a mind can go. That's how deep down a rabbit hole that it can go. Because I didn't want to take on the responsibilities. I didn't feel like I had any hope in life. I didn't feel like I could live to be in prosperity or in love or in happiness, like truly, right? Like, yeah, I had moments. divine sparks, of like, oh yeah, like I had sex with a girl, cool. Oh, I have these video games, cool. Oh, I'm making money at this good job, cool. Like none of it was doing anything for me. Like I couldn't ride the wave of the good moments that were happening for long enough. It would just happen and then fizzle out. That's how bad it was. And then to put even more on top of that, I even had Crohn's disease for almost 6 years. I healed myself going into the 6th year. It took me one whole year to heal myself from Crohn's. That's a whole other story. But when I had Crohn's disease, I was shitting my pants. I was losing friends because I tell them I'd be right there. I have a flare up in my car. I have to drive back home. Couldn't hang out with them. And I did that multiple times. So they're like, yo, this dude sucks. This dude fucking sucks. Why do we want him as our friend? I don't blame him. Fuck. And I weighed less than 100 pounds. I looked like I came out of the Holocaust. I couldn't even have the guts to like talk to a woman because I'm like, wow, if I get her into bed with me, I'm like a fucking skeleton. Like I was so embarrassed. My self-esteem was shot. And I was like, wow, how can I live life? I can't even talk to women looking like this. It was that bad for me. And it was all like my own mental health, my own projections, these thoughts that were coming in, and I would feed them so much. And it kept bringing me down and down and down. And even when you think you couldn't go any farther down the pit of despair, rock bottom, the fucking core of the earth, people say like, "Oh, when you're down there, the only way to go is up." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know how to get up. I don't know how to stay up. Yeah, there could be a ladder. I could get to the next plateau, but I'll fall right back down because I didn't know any better. How was I going to help myself? And who was I going to tell? I didn't think anybody would want to hear me. I didn't think anybody would take the time to ask me, why are you going through this? Like, why is this all happening? You know, I thought everyone would just think I'm even crazier and that I wasn't normal. That sucks. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Goated. Thank you. Hi, sister. I I was lost. I was confused and I was dark. So what else could I have done? You know? Hang on. Let me see if there's any more dark stuff. What other dark stuff wanted to come up? Oh, yeah. I've even had guns pointed at my face too. Guns. Lots of guns. Well, not lots, but a few. Like 3 guns pointed at my face. Just to rob me of cannabis and money. It's insane. And the wild thing is, even when I think about those moments, they don't affect me anymore. I don't feel that darkness. I see it as a bubble. I see it as a cloud. I see it as a leaf blowing in the ground. Eventually, it's just gone. It, it's astounding. That can ruin people for the rest of their lives. It has. Some people never get out of it. Oh, and then going even deeper down the rabbit hole, even with like, quote unquote big brother watching you. Some say like the honey badger, um, aka the GOVT. That used to scare me too. And I was like, man, why are we here? Why am I here on this planet? Like, why me? Why do I have to go through all this? And I questioned that for a long time, for so long. And I never got an answer for a long time. But I prayed. I prayed to be fixed. I prayed to be healed. I prayed for guidance. I prayed for God to take me under his wing. Because if I would have kept being me at that time, I would have been dead or in jail. There's no doubt about that. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And it was crazy for me to even think that I could live a life, that I was worthy of it, that I was deserving to have good things. But somehow, some way, I was always guided. I was always protected, no matter how deep and dark it got. I somehow got saved, saved from going to jail, saved from taking my own life, having these other random thoughts. They weren't random, but other divine thoughts that would keep me from going the distance of taking my own life, or ending up in jail somehow. There was always like a moment, a whimsical, magical moment. Like there was times where I got pulled over and I had a ton of stuff on me, like tons. Like you could put someone in jail for a good amount of time. Car accidents, I had a bunch of stuff on me, got pulled over, speeding or running a light or something, or even looking suspicious multiple times. And by the grace of God, somehow, some way, I got out of everything that could have been way worse. There was moments where I was like, "Yo, this is it. We're done. We have this in the car. We got that in the car. This is gonna cost us tens of thousands of dollars. We're gonna be there in the cell for a long time." But damn, I was always doing some stupid shit. Even like smoking in the car while traveling through like Kentucky and Alabama and Tennessee and stuff. Like if we would have gotten caught in Ohio, it's not that big of a deal. But like in other states, wow, we'd be in jail for a long time. And somehow always got protected. Always. Whether it was like a wall coming down, like an energetic wall from the universe, whether it was the cop getting another call to go somewhere else, or they were following us, and then they somehow just turned the other cheek. Couldn't believe it. There's been too many times, and now I realize like why I'm here and why I prayed to God and cried to God to change my life for months because I couldn't do it on my own. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't have the conscious thought of like, what do I need to do? I just knew that the first thing was I need to heal myself from Crohn's disease. Because if I don't heal myself from Crohn's disease, I will have this shit for the rest of my life. And there's no way I was going to let that happen. I was so determined beyond measure, beyond the world's ends, that I was going to cure myself. I just didn't know how, but I knew I just had to do it. I even graduated high school without the requirement of having a 2 years of a language. Like that is a whole requirement to get your diploma in high school. I took 1 year of a language. I failed the second year of a language. I only had 1 year, and I told myself I'm gonna graduate with 1 year of Spanish. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. Walked across that stage, shook the hand. I said this for years. I said this for like my junior and my senior year, like all the time. It's like, bro, I don't give a fuck. I'm graduating. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm walking across that stage. I'm getting that diploma in the mail 3, 4 weeks later. Got it all. No questions. Nobody ever said anything that I needed an extra year. of a high school or of an English or of a language to graduate. I was so determined, and I used that same determination to heal myself from Crohn's disease, which like ruined my whole life. You look unemployed, my boy. I'm an entrepreneur. I do my own shit. Thanks, boy. Anyways, I wow. Another thing, I got to be more determined. I'd be like, yo, this, and that, and just be super conscious, super aware, and determined about like what it is I really want to set the tone for. Bro, I help people all over the world. I've helped thousands of people. I'm good. Anyways, um, yeah. But I used to like never really be like that with a lot of other things. But like when there were certain things, I was just like, yeah, this needs to happen. So it really changed me to see how I help people and they invest in themselves and they invest in me. I don't necessarily sell products yet. I sell my services. I'm a coach. I do energy healing, I do breath work, and I help people regulate their nervous systems. I help people open up their hearts, fine tune their spiritual gifts, and feel energy that they haven't really felt before. If people are experiencing trauma or burnout, yeah, I can definitely help them, like nurses, doctors, CEOs. Yeah, I've helped people all across the board with that. It's been nothing but a miracle. I was a person who couldn't even help myself. And then I became a person who can actually help people. And to add even more pressure, I had what after I had my spiritual awakening and I started to surround myself with like all these spiritual beings, I kept getting these messages from all these spiritual beings. They were like, "Yo, you're going to help a lot of people someday. You're going to help millions of people." And I'm just like, "Okay, word. These people might be crazy, but okay, whatever." And then but people kept saying it over and over again, and I'm like, "What are they trying to like freak me out? Like do they want me out of this church? Like I don't understand." And then like COVID happened. I was like, "Okay, chill. I'm not going to be helping a lot of people now." So I just, got paid by the government and then just enjoyed my time for like 8 months. And then like when everything started to come back alive, then I started to meet new people because I started to travel more. And then people were like, "Yo, you're gonna help so many people, man. Like, we believe in you and this, that, and the third." And then I was like, why is this still happening? I can't even help myself right now. I'm just enjoying life. I'm some white dude in Cleveland, Ohio. How am I gonna influence people? That doesn't make any sense. I'm still this stoner dude. What the fuck? And but then it started to get to me. I was like, well, how am I gonna do it? What do I have to do? It didn't make any sense to me. And then I've started to feel all of these heavyweights that people were putting onto me. And then I started to get sad and depressed. And I was like, wow, all these people have these expectations of me. I don't have any for myself. I'm just trying to get to the next day. As like Tupac would say, I was like, wow, I just want to get to the next day. I don't know what my life's going to look like in 2 or 3 years. I don't even know what's going to happen in the next like 4 to 5 months. Fuck. What am I going to do? And somehow, some way, the path, my soul, God, universe, it all led me to the exact same thing. You look like Felix from Stray Kids. I don't know who that is. Handsome, hairy bro. Thanks, artist. Appreciate you. I am pretty handsome. I'm pretty good looking, if I say so myself. Um, you know, but it all led me down the path to help other people who've gone through similar things that I have. And I will say, at one point, I've had for about 2 years straight, like once or twice a month, I always had somebody calling me, telling me like they were about to end their life. They're saying like this is over. I can't do this anymore. I have no hope. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And somehow I would speak from a God source consciousness, my heart, and say these incredible, wonderful things and let them know about my experience and just like the world itself and that they weren't crazy and you're not alone and that you're okay to be feeling and thinking those dark things. Trust me, because I was there, but this is life. And I would say all these magical, crazy things. And then somehow they'd be like, you gave me hope. I actually want to try this and do my best. And I'm like, then let's fucking go, you know? And it just opened up my soul so much more. And I'm so eternally grateful that I was just open and connected to give them the words that just flowed right through me and out of me for the people. And that's been a lot of people. It's been so worth it. And now I'm like, okay, who else do I get to help now? I want to help all these people who do have a lot of money because they can do so much amazing, incredible, life changing things with that money for other people. And sometimes they just need their heart opened. They need a new energetic frequency within them to like understand like what this world is truly about. More than just the business side and the products and the pricing and that mindset. It's like an embodiment. It's like the soul wants to come out and speak and be expressed. Like we think and talk a lot, but like the heart has this energetic compound, this brain to it that has so much more knowledge and wisdom. And when we get to really feel with that, changes life forever. Because the body is where it's at, it's the somatics. Completely changes your whole reality. So it's changed my whole life. I've manifested incredible things. And now I'm like, okay, what else do I want right now? And now I'm like building a future. It's not easy, but I see a path. I see these visions. I got the synchronicities. And I'm like, okay, I know it's possible. I've seen too many cool things happen for people and for myself to just turn the other cheek and give up this journey. And I've wanted to. I've wanted to give up this journey because I'm like, wow, I'm not making the money that I used to. I'm like sitting around so much more, like being this entrepreneur. Like, I wish I was doing more, like that was when I first started this business in 2022. So I've been going on for 4 years doing this type of work as a business and, moving a lot. That kind of puts a little damper in being grounded and solidified, in places. But when I was doing pretty good. I've made anywhere from like 3,000 to like $7,500 a month doing this line of work. And I was like, this is amazing. And doing classes and events in person, doing them online. People just love breath work. They love energy healing. It just gets them into a different state, gets them out of the mind, releases shit in the body, helps them feel relaxed and calm and centered, and even a little bit high, but like high on your life force energy, not from like but from life, life itself. And I really get to do this. Like I was teaching high schoolers how to breathe And I was telling them, I was like, guys, this is like what I teach people to do, and I get paid to do this. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, I teach people how to breathe for a living. And the high schoolers, like, they're in the inner city schools in Cleveland, Ohio, and they're just like, that's insane. You make money teaching people how to breathe? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, let me show you how much I can make. And I was like, if I had if I had like 50 people, and I charged them $50, like that's a good it was like what, $5,000? I was like, yeah, make that in one night. And they were like, what? It's like, yeah, we all get together, we scream our brains out, we release some shit energetically that's inside of us that's no longer serving us, and then we bring in cool, calm, elegant, peaceful, sanctified, healed, purifying energies for the people so they can feel in tune and grounded and confident afterwards, and then they leave like they're on cloud nine. And then it lasts them for so long. They couldn't believe it. And I was just like, yeah, you can make money doing a lot of cool things in this planet, but I do mine to help people. So, yeah, the high schoolers love that. God, I love that. I miss teaching kids how to breathe, teaching them about consciousness and energy and just life. I miss that, but that's not part of my path. It still kind of is, but it's not like my main source. So, but I am very, very curious on where this path's going to lead. And I got a few more months to figure it out. But I get to do it a little bit longer in Cleveland. So I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. We'll see what happens. But yeah, just a lot of darkness has happened within me and on this planet. And it's not our faults. Not at all. But it's been worth it. It's been so worth going through all that darkness, all that turmoil, all that despair, all the sadness, all the grief, the guilt, the shame, the lying, the cheating, the stealing, all of it to be where I'm at now. I feel like I'm the best I've ever been energetically, even grounded and regulated. And I'm still like, okay, what else do I truly get to do? And we'll find out very, very soon. So, okay, y'all. I'm going to hit the hay. It is about to be 11:11 East Coast time. I'm going to sign off at that moment. So, make a wish, be true, be in love, and know that anything can really happen for you at any given moment. Just keep on believing, keep on being who you get to be, and don't give up. And thank you for being here. Please like, please subscribe. I'm growing this channel to something very beautiful and authentic and real so that people can really experience this God source energy and to really make more miracles happen for everyone and everything. All right, y'all. Namaste.